Ladies and gentlemen, 8 mind-boggling puzzles. I mean, look at this guy, what's going on there? They're all Calvin's puzzles, brand new and sealed in the box, and today we're going to open them to see how they turn and whether or not we can solve them. Of course, a quick thank you to dailypuzzles.com.au for making this video possible. All of these puzzles can be found there, and if you use code TINGMAN, you'll get a sweet discount. After this video, tell me which one of these 8 was your favorite, then go get it at Daily Puzzles.
Subscribe.
Subscribe to Ting Boy.
No, subscribe to Ting Man.
Ting Boy.
Oh, you.
Let's start with the 3x3x5. Little logo on the white side. Gone are the days when Rubik's Cubes just used to be Rubik's Cubes. Square for square, these guys are the exact same size, except of course, there's 2 extra levels on this one. Not entirely sure why the color scheme is different, but that's okay. So unlike the 3x3, which when scrambled just looks scrambled, the 3x3x5, when scrambled, can do things like this. We call puzzles that change their shape when you scramble them, shape-shifting puzzles. So a scrambled 3x3x5 looks pretty wild. How good is that? You can still see the 3x3 cube in the middle. There it is right there, but it's got all these weird sticky out bits. Now I used to think that's pretty much impossible, never gonna be able to solve this, but the way you do it is surprisingly easy. There are a bunch of tutorials out there, but the easiest one I found was one by JR Cuba. So step 1 is to make a cross of sorts. I'm not intentionally doing it, on the orange side or anything. It just happens to be that orange and red are the long ends. Sort of expected it to be white and yellow, but this will work fine for us as well. Next step, I'm gonna get the middle layer right. So I can put this piece in there like this. I'm gonna get this guy in there like this. And the same for the remaining 2. And there you go. Next, I'm gonna fill in all these pieces so the bottom half is correctly oriented. I've actually got a really odd shape here right now. So if I see these 2 pieces like one single corner that needs to go in here, I could theoretically just insert it like this, except that's gonna take out that piece which I already had in there. So instead, I can think of it like an F2L pair and insert it appropriately. So joining the pair up like that in the back, and then putting it in here like that. Ta-da! Doesn't matter that it's not right, we'll fix it up later. Now I'm gonna do the same for the other 3 corner slots. And there it is. Now believe it or not, I can actually fix this top half if I treat this like an OLL. So this is sort of like a dot case. F, sexy move, should now turn it into a V case, like my 9 o'clock case. And then going F, I'm just doing 2 look OLL here, well more like 3 look. And right here, this weird sort of shape. Looks like a puppy or something. I actually have a ULL, or headlights. And so this is actually the same case as this guy right here. So I can solve it in a similar way. R to D, to R prime. Ta-da! Okay, next I'm gonna get the cross for this layer right here. I see that I've already got 2. So let's get this guy done right now. And that can be done like this. And then I need this guy in. See, if I just like line that up and move it straight down, I'm gonna mess those 2 up. So the way you do it is to do an R2 first, and then put it in, and then restore it. Next, I'm gonna get the corners of this layer in, and I can do it like this. I'm gonna get that guy in like that, like this. That messes up this, but that's only temporary. I can go on to solve the other pieces now, sort of like a commutators method. There you go, so that's all done. That should do it. Hooray! Okay, next we're gonna do the second layer. So I've got headlights right there, and we're gonna move these 2 around using this algorithm. R to U prime, R to U prime and D. R to U prime, R to U, R to D prime. So we've got all my corners. Now we just have the centers. So we can do this alg that swaps adjacent centers over here, and it looks like this. R to U, R to U, R to U2, R to U2, R to U prime, R2. Let's swap these 2 around now. And I'll find a 2 over here. And we're done. We unfortunately have a parity case, but that's okay. We can fix that at the very, very end. So now let's solve our bottom cross. We've already got red, white, and red, green, blue in. And finally, red, yellow. So cross done. And then we're gonna get our corners in. And that's very, very similar to how we got these pieces in before. Bottom layer's done. Let's get the top layer's corners done now. Corners all done. We just have the edges to swap around now. We're going to use that adjacent alg just like before. In fact, really similar to before when we did R and U, but this time we're just going to move the top layer. So R to U, R to U, U2, U2, U prime, and then it's done. Cool. And then our final one over here. And we're completely done. Nearly, except for this little parody over here. And the parody alg just goes like this. So wide U2, R2, F2, and then just this middle layer. And then F2, R2, wide U2, and it's done! That might have looked a little bit tricky, but it was, I don't know, 3 or 4 algorithms in total to solve the whole thing. This is a really fun puzzle. I used to be scared of it, and if you are, don't be. It's a wonderful puzzle to solve. I highly recommend that you get it and try it out for yourself. Next up, this wonderful looking guy, who's also known as the Royal Pyraminx. That's right. So manufactured by Calvin's Puzzle, and designed by Russian designer Timur Evbatyov, who, fun fact, also designed this gear Pyraminx. I unboxed this in a previous video and totally didn't even see the TE right there, his initials, so yeah, it's pretty cool. He also designed the Master Pyraminx and the Professor's Pyraminx, which is the 5x5 version of the Pyraminx. And you can probably see how this led to this guy. Pillowed, because I'm guessing there are so many more pieces to account for. And, you know, admittedly on first sight, it reminded me of this. So this is the 6x6 Pyramorphix. Also pillowed, also 6-layer, just like this. They look like the same puzzle, but of course they are not. The Pyramorphix is actually a normal sort of like cube mod. Like this is a 6x6 cube. You can see that 5x5 grid right in the middle, and those are the outer layers right there. This one's nothing like that. This is like, it's a proper Pyraminx in the way that it turns. So just like this guy, it's got layers that can turn this way. And if I'm not wrong, yeah, the tips turn as well. That is so cool. There are a couple of ways this can be solved. One, the way that I would normally solve my Master Pyraminx, which is sort of getting centers and then sort of like inserting edges and bits and pieces to eventually get the whole thing right. But the other way is to actually reduce this by solving the centers and the edges, so that you end up getting just like the outer pieces left. And the outer edges, and you might, you know, be excused for thinking that it's like, oh yeah, I guess it'll be like a 3x3 because it's like, you know, wait, let's get it a bit clearer. Yeah, sort of like, you know, 1, 2, 3 pieces over there, you know, just like this guy, but it's not, because if you look closely, this has a center and this does not. There's no center on a normal Pyraminx. And that's because, if anything, this is almost like a 2x2. See, it's an even number, 6 layers, just like this. This is actually the Jinx Pyraminx. If you reduce it to this, the Jinx Pyraminx, I guess, is sort of like, you know, 2 layers. So yeah, those are the 2 ways you can solve it. But you can also get some really pretty patterns for doing things like this. I found some tutorials on YouTube on how to solve this Royal Pyraminx. But I'm not gonna do it myself. Oh, that is so cool. But I'm not gonna do it myself because it's probably gonna take me like 5,000 years. So unfortunately, this is not gonna be one puzzle that I'm gonna solve. I can't stop looking at it like this. So pretty. You will subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and watch all my videos. Sorry, I don't know why I'm doing that. Next up, we have this wonderful looking sphere, also known as, the Megaminx Ball. At this point, you might be wondering, hang on, Megaminx Ball? You mean like this guy? How is this guy that guy? Well, if you look closely, you'll see it's actually the exact same puzzle. They're sort of like maybe slightly different sizes. So like, you know, the corners over here are way larger on this Megaminx Ball. Also, I mean, you don't really have that tactile sort of like sharp edges because the whole thing is spherical, but it's completely identical. And I must say, I really like it. Okay, first turns, let's see what it's like. Hey, nice, that's pretty good. Ooh, I can already tell it's gonna be a little bit trickier than an ordinary Megaminx because look at that. Like, I think I can start turning it there, but no, I have to complete the entire turn. I know some of the puzzle collectors who keep their Megaminx balls actually just scrambled when stored, and that's because it looks so pretty. I mean, look at that. Almost like a stained glass window, hey. And I'll say this guy's adequately scrambled. Let's go for it. Okay, so we're gonna start with the white star, because that's how I learned it when Felix Zemdegs taught me. Not personally, that was by watching his Cube Skills tutorial. And that's the star done. That is so cute. That really does look like a little star. Ooh, no sticker coming out. That's the thing about like stickers. That's a high quality sticker though. It's not just like paper. It's like vinyl. But it's the thing about having like many stickers on puzzles. Like, yeah, keeping them on is really tricky. All right, I can do this. So I found my corner, my edge. So like this. Yeah, got it. And then let's stick that in there. Woohoo! That's my F12 pair done. Okay, time lapse to finish the rest of the star. And in you go. Okay, it took a little bit longer than I like to admit, but hey, it's pretty cool. Okay, I'm actually quite struggling to figure out what my next step is. Let me really quickly do it on the Megaminx. Oh, that's right. I do this so that I can insert these 3 pairs. Okay, that makes sense now. Let's do that. The 3 colors that are quite similar. This guy, and this guy. Anyway, it's all good. Yeah, it is. Sweet. Okay, much better. Now I can set the pairs. And there. Whew, done. Wow, so much for this. Will be easy. I know how to solve a Megaminx. Wow, it's so interesting. Like, you know, a puzzle that I know how to solve, but just like having to look for pieces in like different shapes and different ways. It's really stretching my brain. All right, let's keep going. And this should be it for the last thing. Woo, done. Nice. Final layer, the gray layer to go. It's a nice back-soon case, and oh boy, this is so hard to see. It's got those 2, so we hold it this way and do a T-palm. Did that do it? Yes, it did it! Woohoo, so good. Okay, so I've just got these corners I need to move around now. Okay, here we go, using commutators. So afraid that I'm not doing this right. Did I do that right? I did it right! Woohoo! Ah, yes, nice. That is the Megaminx Ball. That was a lot trickier than I thought it would be, but yeah, if you know how to solve this guy, which by the way really is very hard to do, you'll be able to do this guy as well. So next up, a bunch of puzzles designed by Tony Fisher, starting with the pillowed Hexaminx. Tony Fisher is quite the household name when it comes to puzzles. You might know him on YouTube as the owner of the Guinness World Records world's largest 3x3. But he is a prolific puzzle designer, and he first came up with the concept of this Hexaminx back in 2003, released the first prototype in 2007, but here it is mass-produced. So this pillowed, slightly concave version of the Hexaminx was designed by Tony Fisher, but also together with Trifon, and manufactured by Calvin's Puzzles. I should mention at this point that Calvin's Puzzles have actually been around for quite a long time. In fact, you'll find videos on YouTube of these puzzles that I'm going through right now that date back to 2009, 2007. So you might be wondering, why am I making a video on this right now? Well, I mean, this is the first time I've come across these puzzles, and I know that a lot of you out there aren't aware of these puzzles as well. And as I hope that I'm showing you, they're really amazing. Cheeky plug to dailypuzzles.com.au once again. Mr. Hexaminx guy over here looks just like a 3x3 with a few other weird lines until you start to turn it and you realize, okay, that's not working. What's going on here? Indeed, it's got very, very different symmetry inside. Instead of turning like entire side that way, it turns like this. And you can get some really, really interesting designs like this, which looks like a house or a muffin. And of course you may have noticed, hang on, then you can't continue turning it. And that's because you're not actually meant to do a 180-degree turn like that. It's actually just meant to turn like this. And then the next turn goes like this. How good is that? It's incredible, isn't it? Just before I completely mess it up, I'm gonna try and undo that. So if I'm not wrong, the core all the way on the inside is exactly the same as that of a Megaminx because it has 12 sides that can be turned. So 1, 2, 3, 4 over there. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the bottom, and of course all these side ones there. So Megaminx symmetry, but modified to be the shape of, well, nearly a cube. There are some great tutorials out there on this as well, but I found them a little bit hard for me, and because of that, I am not going to solve it. However, I will scramble it for you. Just know that after I do this, this will never ever be solved again. Why did I think this was going to be a good idea? I'm pretty sure if you asked Tony Fisher, he'd actually tell you it's not too difficult to solve this because, you know, you just need to look for this, and then you've solved the whole thing. But yeah, maybe one day. But for now, we're just going to enjoy mixing it up. And there you go. What a sight to behold. These shape-shifting puzzles are incredible. I mean, who would imagine that this could actually be solved into, like, you know, a pillowed cube? Actually, I thought of one way I could solve it. I just have to reverse this video. Okay, go gadget, go! Oh, hey guys, look, I totally solved this Hexaminx with absolutely no help at all. Woohoo, I'm a genius. Yeah. Next. And here we have the Tony Mini 5x5x5 ball. This was designed by Tony Fisher in 2008, And fun fact, he actually did not intend to design this puzzle just, as a final product, but as a stepping stone to this guy. You can sort of see the ball like inside there, but more on this later. The 5x5x5 ball is essentially just that. It is a 5x5 cube, but it's just been modified. So all of its edges and its corners have just been really rounded down, I guess, so that it ends up being spherical. What's with all these like ball versions of just like regular cubes? So here's a little checkerboard pattern of the 5x5x5 ball. That is actually so pretty. This reminds me of like in Sonic, when Sonic's like running around on like this globe. Now I know how to solve a 5x5, so I'm not going to mess this up to like try and prove it to you, because it's not like I've got anything to prove or anything. It's not like you came to watch it. Okay, fine, I'll do it. Okay, I'll do it. Okay, I'm seeing now that even just with messing it up, one difficulty with this is actually just aligning it. It's like, do you align it like this? Do you align it like this? It's like, which one's right? Okay, that'll do us with a scramble. Time to reduce this into a 3x3. Let's see, I've got a bunch of green bars. So maybe let's start with the green center. Green center done. Time for the blue center. Cheeky little T shape so that you can do that trick of pairing an edge with the center bar. And then we're back. And then I believe, there it is. How can I do this? I can do that and that. All right, that's our first two centers done. I keep bringing it up midway and I'm like, hang on, I was so sure this was a corner. And I'm like, oh, I just didn't bring it to the very end. This is a really nice case where you can pair that up there. And then when you do U2 and bring that back down, that last one that comes out pairs as well. And then we just bring the bar in. And our centers are complete. I saw right there that these two paired up, so let's actually just start right there. This is gonna be dangerous. If I don't do this right, I can completely see myself stuffing up the cube. Okay, let's be careful here. Okay, I've made one edge. This is so scary. Time lapse time. Okay, we are now on to our last 4 edges. This thing is looking a bit like a tennis ball or something. Let's solve these two. That's really nice. You can just be solved. So scary. No, see how scary it is? Like, I might accidentally like turn the wrong layer and mess up the entire thing. Sweet as. And then we've got these two. This is also really nice because we just insert. See, that middle bit is both flipped. So if we just bring that middle one over here and then flip this edge, when you bring it back, fixes the whole thing. Hooray! And now we solve it like a 3x3 because it totally looks like a 3x3. Oh my gosh, was that it? Thank you, Tony Fisher, for what wasn't even planned to be like a proper puzzle. But what apparently is not easy is this guy. This is Tony Fisher's pride and joy. He actually has said that this is one of his favorite puzzles that he has made. There's actually this 5x5x5 ball within the skeleton of a 4x4 cube. How insane is that? So the outer layers of the puzzle move completely independently. That is, they don't affect the ball on the inside. But look, once you start to move it like this, all of a sudden, the middle bit goes with it. Now you can make it go like that, so like, 2 layers go together, or just that one there. But yeah, how insane is that? So I haven't seen any tutorial yet on how you would solve this, but my guess is that you would probably first have to solve that ball in the middle, I think. In other words, this 5x5, and then, I don't know, maybe pair up the edges, and then solve it like a 3x3. Actually, can you even solve it? Yeah, you can solve it like 3x3, can't you? Where do you even come up with an idea like that? It looks like a 3x3 inside a 4x4, but really it's a 5x5 inside a 3x3. Like, what? Let's give the 3x3 stage a solve, because I am pretty confident that once I mess up the ball in the middle, there's no hope of me ever solving it again. Whoa, wide moves are weird on this thing. And finally we have a beautiful JB to finish us off. And it's actually not too bad corner cutting. I solved it, guys. Sort of. I really don't know if I want to scramble it. Okay, let me do that checkerboard pattern. Oh, that's pretty cool. And then let's do it to this as well. That is cool. That is super, super cool. I'm not gonna scramble this because I really like the look of this. Tony Fisher, you are a genius. I appreciate your brain, and I'm not gonna hurt mine today. 2 puzzles to go. Hope you're keeping track of them and tell me in the comments which ones you really like, which ones you wish you had. But this guy, what even is this? It's so great. So you've got your, colors if you look at it on the side like that. But it's like, what? Essentially a 3x3 on the inside that someone else decided to smack another 3x3 on top of. Actually, no, it's more than that. Because it's like you've got duplication of these days. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So this guy's called the 3x3x5 cross cube because, well, it looks like a cross. Now, you might be thinking, hang on, I did the 3x3x5 just before, the cuboid. How is this like this cube? Well, if you think about it in many ways, it is. If I completely, if I have these 2 side bits completely solved, arguably, you can solve this middle section right there, just like the 3x3 cuboid. Sort of. But another way you can think about it is that in some ways, this is actually a lot like a 5x5. If you removed just this outer layer right there. See, if I didn't have those corners and all those middle bits, I sort of get this like super 3x3 that's trying to break like the 5th dimension. And apparently that's how you solve it as well. I have never tried doing one in my life, but hey, today could be the day. Fortunately, this guy does not shift shape. Wait, shift shape? I mean shape shift. Oh my goodness. My words are shape shifting. I personally wouldn't mind if it was a little bit smaller because it's a little bit hard to hold on to. But I mean, it is similar, to this. But compared to like a 5x5, it's like, look how much larger the pieces are. So fortunately, like all odd layered puzzles, these centerpieces are not gonna move, which means that, red will always be here, I know, and green will always be on this side, etc. Okay, here we go. Apparently the way you start thinking about it is actually like a 5x5, like just the centers. And you might be thinking, wait, hang on, this is super easy. Just like solve all the centers. But no, you see this red corner over here is not the same as this red corner over here because the side colors matter. So it's not as straightforward as making centers on a 5x5. For example, on a 5x5, I might see this bar and this bar, tear it up and be like, woohoo, I've got, my little square there. But look, the colors on the sides are all incorrect. So I'm actually gonna think of it almost like beginner's method and think of like cross and then corners, and hopefully I can sort of make my way around the cube that way. Let's just start with white because I'm basic like that. Okay, so like this guy here, can I put this guy in there? Nope. But I should be able to do it this way, right? No, it goes there. What is happening? Is it this one? Maybe it's this one. Maybe I do have to solve it like the cuboid way. Okay, so this is what I would do. I would do this. That. And that worked. Wow, lame. But no, see, that doesn't work because like all the other pieces aren't up the top. This is so crazy. Okay, so can this piece go in there? Let's see. This guy, I can put that guy in there. Yes, my friends. How about this guy? Would that guy go in? No, no, he does go in. No, he doesn't go in. How dare you? Okay, so time to start thinking like 5x5 again. If I want to get that piece in there, how would I do it? Oh, I would just like do this. I'd move these 2 down, move it to the side and tear it up like that and then move it back. Oh my goodness, that was actually so easy. Okay, I might start thinking that way a little bit more now. So this really is a combination of thinking of this like a 5x5 and like a cuboid. So I've sort of got like a variety of algorithms that at my disposal, and yeah, I'll just use the one I guess that's more appropriate. Second center done. Oh no, I just realized the mistake I made. It needs to look all the same color from one side. Oh, of course. So this is meant to be the green side, and this, okay, this orange side. Oh, wait. Okay, so all of these colors should be yellow, all these colors should be orange, and this should be white. Whew, crisis averted. We'll keep going. All right, nearly done with this full center. So I'm gonna pair that guy up like this, and then put it back in. There we go, that's all done. And the last 2 centers to go. Okay, done. And so now just for the top. Ooh, this side's completely done, but that's not Oh, that's right. Now I can go back to the 3x3x5 cuboid rules. So I can basically solve this the exact same way as I solved this top layer before. So, okay, step one is that I've got my headlights over here. So I just need to do a corner swap algorithm, which goes like this. Yeah, it worked. Nice. And I've got a H-perm. Is there an easier way to do a H-perm? I wonder if I can do a H-perm like a 3x3. Let's try it. M2, U2, M2, U, M2, U2, M2. Let's go, boys. Yes. That is how you do it. That was so great. It's like using 3 different methods to solve this puzzle. That was tricky, but it was actually really satisfying. And we've come to our very last puzzle. This is the Troy Truncated 3D Star. What a mouthful. Let's break it down. Troy, because this was designed by Troy Robinson, also known as RC Pongo on Instagram. You should check him out. He's a really cool guy. Truncated, because this actually is sort of like a squished, flattened, like shaved off version of another puzzle called the 3D Star, which is pretty much 2 Pyraminxes. So confession time, I'm not actually totally sure how this thing turns. I mean, I guess it would turn like a Pyraminx, or maybe not. What? Oh my gosh, it turns like that. That's just like a 3x3 mod then, isn't it? I see why it's so hard though, because I mean, you look at it this way and you're like, how is this solved? This totally doesn't look solved until you realize that if you look at it like this way and you realize like that's all yellow and that's all green. That's all, wait, how is it yellow again? Oh my gosh, there are 2 yellows. There are only 4 colors. Oh my goodness. Right, so the challenge isn't actually like turning it because it's just a 3x3 mod. The challenge is like knowing that this is correct because it's meant to look like that. Should I give it a go? Yeah. Okay, that's our scramble done. Where do I even start? I literally don't even know where to start. This ironically actually feels like it needs to be solved corners first. So let's put this corner in now. I've already got my 2 corners in and now I just need to put the edge in. Finally. Okay, so red, blue.
Later that same evening.
Okay, that's my first layer done, I think. I don't know how I didn't notice it before, but actually it really is easy to form the cross. I didn't have to start with the corners first because those 2 colors tell you what those 2 colors should be. So once I figured that out, it was actually a lot easier. So this is the correct center for this side. And then this guy needs to be there. That's a pretty easy fix. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm taking like this entire edge out. I think of it this way. It's sort of like if I need this Rubik's thing, right, to be like upside down, then I'm gonna take this whole solved green bit out. I'm gonna make the Rubik's correct so that when I put it back in, now Rubik's is upside down. Of course, with a regular 3x3, you don't get like those same issues of like, you know, centers facing the wrong way, but obviously with this guy you do. So take that out, R2, put it back, R2, and that's now done. Okay, so the yellow-red edge needs to go in here, which could be this guy, or it could be this guy that's right next to it. Let's just assume it's this guy. So how do I do it? Beginner's method, edge insertion. I already think I did that incorrectly. I did that incorrectly, it's a flipped edge. No! Try to remember how to solve a flipped edge by muscle memory. I think it was like this. I got it! Okay, let's keep going, time lapse. And there you go, first 2 layers are now all done. And now for the part that I've been dreading the most, the top layer. How do I even... OLL is first. Can you even do OLL? This just needs to cycle this way. So let's do an APAM. So let's see. Oh, wait, they can be misoriented. Oh, of course they can be misoriented. So green happens to be right because see, that bit is correct. So does red. But blue is not right because blue, see, should be going that way. And yellow should also be going that way. In other words, these 2 need to flip, which means I think this is a TOLL. Oh my gosh, if I don't do it right, I'm so doomed. TOLL, here we go. No, wait, I'm not doing this right. You don't start with corners, you gotta start with your edges first. with your, oh, of course, silly me. So these two are right and these two are not. So it's F inverse, sexy, F prime, and now that should, yep, that's right, that's right, that's right, that's right. Whew, if I put this green in the right place, that is right. If I put blue, blue is not right, and red has to not be right as well. All right, I think I finally got it. So this is oriented correctly now. So now it's just a PLL. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's correct. Okay, so let's do an APOM. Okay, APOM was a success, and now we just have the edges. So this edge is correct, this edge is correct, and these two edges are not correct, which means that I got parity.
One eternity later.
Guys, I've come so close. I've got some ideas of how I can swap those, which involve like, you know, rotating some of the other corners, but I'm too scared to give it a try because I just expect to like mess up the entire cube if I make a little mistake. But you know, intuitively, this is how far I've come. I think I need an algorithm just like fix that last bit, but I'm gonna consider this a success. If you just hold it this way, look at that. I did it. Troy's Truncated 3D style, everyone. That was a really amazing puzzle, as much as it hurt my brain. It was actually quite fun to do. And as always, it's time for our Kelvin's Puzzles Awards ceremony. Winning the What Even Is This award is our pillowed Hexaminx, because, yeah, what is happening right now? Winning the Prettiest Puzzle award, this one was a bit hard because, I mean, they all look really amazing, is a two-way tie between the Ball in the Cube puzzle and the Megaminx Ball. They are such amazing puzzles to look at. But winning the Most Enjoyable Puzzle to Solve award goes to the 3x3x5. It is in some ways maybe one of the easier ones of the lot. This is one that I can see myself going back to over and over again, maybe even trying to like speed solve it. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments down below which was your favorite puzzle, which one you would love to own and give a shot. Once again, thank you so much to dailypuzzles.com.au for making this video possible. You can find all these Kelvin puzzles right there. If you want to see more big unboxings, check out those videos over there. Subscribe if you think this video deserved it. And can I end by saying amazing work, hats off to Tony Fisher, Troy Robinson, Robinson Timur, Kelvin's Puzzles for inventing, designing all these incredible, ridiculous things. You guys are geniuses. I don't know how you do it. See ya!
Bye.
Hey, stop it.
Ting boy.